Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaRakakadash, the one that's the apostles and elders, great meals not real well. Shalom to the brothers doing work, sharing truth. Um, just got just gonna go into Jeremiah 3 and just break it down. So Jeremiah 3 and 6, and it says, "The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done? She has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there have played the harlot. And I said, after she had done all these things, Turn thou unto me. But she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it." And yeah, when we're dealing with Israel, dealing with Judah, you know, these two kingdoms, going into their history especially, both of them have played the harlot, man. They've gone out, they've gone to these different trees, these different nations, man. They're basically gone, to these gods, to these different nations, and basically indulged, within, tried to get all up in these nations, tried to get all up in their gods, and then lo and behold, what's the what's the end result of all this harlotry? These guys end up, they still don't have any regard or any love towards Israel, man. It says in the chapter 4, "Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?" You basically got Yahweh Hashem Yahushai there, and that's who we're meant to be putting our energy towards. But that's been the history of Israel, and that's why it got to the point where he turned his face from us. So what did it say? Verse 9, "And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Lord." And yeah, just because the northern kingdom was off, doing the madness, they mean the southern kingdom was done like, oh no, we need to be all about the Lord, because it's the same thing time and again. Where what? Both northern and southern kingdom, these guys are indulging, man. But it's to what's the gain? What's the worth of this? What you getting from it? And then in reality, you ain't getting shit. It seems it seems worthwhile, and the thing is as well is it's been done. So I mean, you go to Judges, before like Babylon and Assyria on the scene, you go to Judges, and then the various neighbors. It would always be, once the judge passed, there'll be a judge set up that would have broken the bonds of Israel, and then as soon as what do you call it, he passed, then the next generation would come up. These guys would basically just go back to the same old tricks. Because why? That's a big stumbling block that was left for Israel. Churches in Judah. Oh, and the Lord Yahweh said unto me, The backsliding Israel hath justified herself more treacherous than Judah. Go and proclaim these words towards the north, and say, Return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you. For I am merciful, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord Yahweh thy power, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord Yahweh. And that's how it was at a time where you could basically turn and then be, like mend the ways between Israel and Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But it hit a point where that was no longer possible, where a mediator was needed. And that was basically when, that's the role Yahushua had to fill. And then that was basically, how the new covenant was made, how the way was mended. And then that's going to be the order under which we're going to get into the kingdom. And then be perfected to where we're no longer, going to wander after these other ways, other gods. So it says, for I am married unto you, and I will take you. Okay. So verse 14, it says, turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord Yahweh, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one to a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Yeah, so basically there'll need to be the time where a order would be restored, and then will be given basically given the truth, given the capability, the correct way basically to get to the Most High. And then as well, Yahushua as well as that mediator. Because what does it say? According to my which I feed you knowledge and understanding, and it shall come to pass when ye be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, saith the Lord Yahweh, they shall no more they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord Yahweh, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done anymore. And then because those the ark of the covenant and the first temple, which were a shadow of things to come, so basically a kind of representation of how things were going to be in their perfection. So when it comes to the time now, then these things are not going to be required. We're going to have that direct connection, and that's basically the what's being what do you call it? That's what's been built up through Yahushua, the means to regain that. Because the neither shall, verse 17, at that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord Yahweh, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of the Lord Yahweh, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk anymore after the imagination of their evil heart. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. Yeah. So that's the time of the end, man, where Judah and Ephraim will basically be mended back together, and then come out of the lands of the north, man, out of Babylon the Great, and then be back as one, man, because that's something that has not been for the longest. That's going back, Amos 9, it mentions the house of Judah. That house of Judah is basically being put back together. The house of Judah, no, house of David. So look, house of David. The house of David is basically being built back up. For an heritage unto your fathers. Verse 19, but I said, How shall I put thee among the children, and give thee a pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of nations? And I said, Thou shalt call me my father, and shalt not turn away from me. Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, saith the Lord Jehovah. A voice was heard among the high places, weeping and supplications of the children of Israel. For they have perverted their way, and they have forgotten the Lord Jehovah their power. Return, ye backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art the Lord Jehovah our power. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Lord Yahweh our power is the salvation of Israel. And yeah, that's the other thing, because it's this what this bullshit that they've established in America, Juneteenth, which I think I didn't even know this shit existed until maybe like a year, 2 years ago, when they started talking about it. And then in the US, I think last year they made it a national holiday, and then it's meant to be a celebration of or remembrance of the slaves basically being freed in the States. So that Jake over there making a whole big thing. But I was like, bro, you guys all what's the term? You guys all looking towards this Juneteenth, like it's basically you're trying to find some form of salvation on this side, man. You're trying to find some form of salvation through some other means. You're basically looking to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua like, oh, I mean, you're basically looking to Esau, looking to this world like, oh, okay, now they've acknowledged it now, so now we can, we can be accepted, we can be, a piece, this place, now we look to, it's like, yeah, they care about us now. But I'm like, bro, that's that's not there's no form of salvation there, man. There's no ways or no means by which you're gonna be nice out of that. It's it's BS. It's just a band-aid fix kind of a thing, where it seems like it's all nice, it's all good, but then what's the reality gonna be? The reality is it's the same shit. Jake's still out here being on the bottom, man. The curses are still in effect. You've not been saved, and that's the thing that it's really evident. This whole BLM kind of mindset, this whole black liberation, whatever bullshit. They're trying to what you call it? Really hoping for salvation, man. But Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, Harakal Kadash, that's our salvation. That's the means by which we're going to be saved out of this. It's because of looking to them other methods, them other channels, where now Esau's the key one. Esau's the key one that the majority of Jake is looking to. Even if these guys will be like, mother. And I was reading, what was it? Katani Jackson. I think she's one of the judges that got put on the Supreme Court. I can't remember exactly. They was talking about like, oh, her ancestor, came to the Caribbean on a slave ship. Then her husband's ancestors came as indentured servants. So but anyway, so because she had an Edomite husband, he might be Jake, who knows? Because I was gonna double check. He might go back to the Irish, but then she's got a white boy husband, and I was like, you're basically looking for a way, away from a means by which you can not have to deal with being a Jake in this society. And that's really what most Jake are looking to. They're looking for some means, some possibility to get away from dealing with the rawness of just being a Jake out here. Because why? It's fucked. It's peak. If you're a Jake out here, then it's like the real is people ain't looking to or holding you in any kind of esteem. But that's not relevant, because why? Because our salvation lies elsewhere, man. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.